Welcome back, you guys. So, today I'm not working. I'm actually off today and tomorrow. But I am testing out my 3D printer again because I am still having a little bit of an issue. And I don't think it's the actual 3D printer itself. I believe it's just the filament. Because for the longest time, for many years, I started using only really PLA. Or I tried ABS, but it's hard to print ABS. And I do have some TPU, but honestly, I believe once this is done, I'm gonna try. Right now, I'm 3D printing another calibration cube using some white PETG, so petg filament. And I believe, because I tried that filament before, I had it about 4 times, like 4 different rows, and it seemed to be doing pretty well for that type of filament. Even before I started using it on the longer LK5 Pro. Anyway, because I was using it on my small Ender 3 before that printer started messing up and having me problems, but the longer LK5 Pro seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, I was able to print out some black PLA that I had. I got 2 spools. I bought a spool, and then a cousin of mine gave me a spool of filament too. And all of them were black PLA. And I was able to print out a few things, but for the last day and a half, I've been having issues with that filament. I don't know if it's just old or brittle or what the case is. I mean, it snaps here and there, not when I'm holding it or bending it or anything. It just sometimes snaps on its own. So I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with that, but I'm thinking that I may be done with PLA and just start only using PETG. But we're going to see. So this is going to have to be the end of part 1 for this. And right now I'm printing out I had some white PETG. So I'm printing out a calibration cube to see if that actually prints without any problems. I mean, I was able to print out a calibration cube with the black PLA. So that's why I'm thinking it's not really the problem with the 3D printer itself. I think it's just the filament. So I may have to be done with PLA. But we're going to find out in part 2. I will show you the actual calibration cube, and I have other things I need to print as well. I did buy me some clear PETG today off of Amazon for about a little over $16. That's the reason why I got it, because it was pretty cheap. Either way, I'm gonna show you right now. The longer LK5 Pro is printing out that white up there is PETG. And it seems to be that over there was just a little bit of filament that I made sure came out of the hot end earlier before I started the print, just to make sure. That's why there's a little line over there, just a little bit of filament on the corner on the far left, far right. But in the center, it is printing out a calibration cube. At least it's trying to. And it's going to take an hour to print out. And right now, you can see on Octoprint, it's at 4%. And it says that I have an hour. So, in an hour, I'll probably be doing part 2 to show you guys whether or not it was able to print. And then, I'm probably going to have to do a part 3 because I want to print other things other than just a calibration cube. Because I make those all the time just to test out the filament or the 3D printer itself. But, I do have other things I want to print because I have been I have been trying to print out objects for this PETG machine, or a PET machine basically, that I found on Thingiverse many months ago. And I did print out some of the parts. I could show you in a second. Let me just pause the video so I can grab the part. 1 second. Alright, guys. So, this is one of the 2 pieces that I had printed with black PLA. So this is a spool from he's actually on YouTube as well. He actually made it's called DIY PET machine. So it's basically a PET machine where he can cut down a plastic bottle and turn that the strips of a plastic bottle into printable filament. So that's the reason why I'm thinking about making my own. Just like, cause he has the STL files on Thingiverse and on, I think it's Instructables for a second machine that's basically the same thing as the compact version that he made about 4 months ago. Anyway, so this is a 2-part spool holder for the machine, and alright, I do have to print out the center part. There's 3 pieces to the spool, but as you can see, I got the main holder part, and then it has, so this is the back, and this is the lid, or like the end, and you can see it has M3 nuts inside of there. What I had to use some of the M3 screws that I have. They're not nuts, they're screws. But the holes that when it's 3D printed out, the holes actually fits pretty well for the bolts, the M3 bolts, because I had to use a Allen key wrench because that's the size for the hex bolt right there. Anyway, so I had to use that. I had to press down with my fingers, screw it in a little bit, and then I had to press down really hard with my Allen key, because the holes they do fit, but when you're screwing it in, it kind of makes its own inserts. Basically, it threads the actual plastic. So when it goes all the way in, it goes to this part, and you can see on the back right here, it actually has holes that goes all the way through this into the back on this side, on the back here where the screws are right now. So these 4 holes on the bottom is actually on the top as well. It goes all the way through, and those 4 holes actually are for M3 screws. And as long as you're pressing the M3 screw inside and using a Allen key wrench, or whether you have a Phillips head type or flathead, whatever screw you're using, if you press down hard enough and you screw clockwise hard enough, then that will thread the inside of those holes on the edges just to make it like a bolt. So right here, I have these all threaded through, and I have them all the way pressed in, and it's really sturdy. It's tight, it won't move, it's really tough. So, I mean, I do sort of like PLA, I just doesn't seem like I should be using it much on my longer 3D printer anymore. So that's why I'm checking out that. But either way, I hope you guys are liking this information, and if you're interested in me making that machine that the guy made on Thingiverse and on YouTube about his DIY PETG or PET machine, let me know, because I did 3D print these 2 parts for the spool, and I did 3D print about 5 other pieces. So I got the legs for the machine to mount to a piece of wood, and the machine for the thermistor, or the heater, the temperature reader or machine. So either way, I hope you guys are liking this information. I'm sorry if this video dragged out, but I hope you guys liked it anyway. And part 2 will be me showing you, hopefully, the calibration cube with PET or PETG. And then the only reason I keep looking over there is just to see if it's still printing. But part 3 will probably be about me printing out something else and then a calibration cube. But the part 2 is going to be me hopefully showing you the calibration cube. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.